All right. I don't know how well this is gonna work, but I feel like and what I mean by that is the audio sync. I've been having a challenge with this right now, getting it to sync, so I don't know if it's synced. Uh, but and I don't know. Where were we? So I'm really enjoying doing these sharing things because it's like it's what I would be doing if I was teaching. It's like what I would most want to do if I was teaching, but I don't feel this like weight of like I'm Otis on YouTube teaching you popping street dance. Like this is what I've been thinking about right now. This is what I'm playing with. Enjoy. So, I just keep dime stops. A lot of practicing dime stops, right? And getting better at the at the elbow, the wrist, twisting, still working. Twisting I find difficult. So I'm practicing all that, and I noticed like this one, the shoulder, it's just like and what I'm starting to realize is that because in my mind I go like this, right? So to stand up, I go like this, and I put the focus on like the shoulders not being down, and now the shoulders go up. I'm wow. This is like an advance in the level right now that I'm in the middle of. You're watching me transition from one level to a different level. And the reason for that is I'm just gaining awareness of my rib cage. I've never had any awareness of my rib cage. If you go back and you watch my dancing and you begin to tune, you will see this. And the rib cage, I think like the most fundamental distinction to be able to have in the body, it like really of almost anything in the whole body, is your rib cage flared or not? Flared. I don't think that's a good word. That's the word they use in like Pilates and stuff. But I'm not doing any specific thing. So what would actually be open and closed? I think that seems the most simple to me. Your rib, when you go like, if you're someone who has a tendency to hunch, when you stand up and you don't have the awareness of open and close on your rib cage, because close on the rib cage requires more core muscle, right? That's kind of almost like what the core muscles do, some of them, is they like keep the rib cage closed instead of just going open, right? So if you have a tendency to hunch and you don't have this awareness, when you stand up, you're going to have a tendency to not only like lift your spine, but you're also at the same time going to open in the rib cage. So that doesn't, the issue with that is one, it doesn't look, the look is wrong because it's not strong. And in general, what it misses is that the more important thing in this movement than the arm is the last thing. God, I read about this stuff in my mime books, like the mime books that I used to read. Do I have it? Oh, I have it. Look. This mime, Richmond Shepard, The Technique of Silence, Illustrated Handbook. Look, and this one is, I got this off Amazon, and randomly, it's signed by him. Isn't that fascinating? I just got a copy of Amazon. So, he talks about movement coming from like the chest. And I mean, I've read this for like the past 15 years or something, off and on. And anyway, I never got it. I was like, what do you, because The reason is because I didn't have any, I couldn't feel my rib cage at all. That's so crazy when you think about it, right? But I know the reason I'm getting more and more comfortable saying all this stuff, one is Emma Chamberlain, because she just started talking about her back knee, and I was like, wow, that's like a really honest thing to just talk about. And so it's making, that is just opening my, like, just tell people shit, whatever, who fucking cares? And also, I just lost my train of thought. But anyway, I realized that this is a thing, right? Open, close. But the challenge is, right? Close is easy when you're here, right? That's the whole trick of it about slouching, is when you don't have that awareness, you don't realize that there's all these muscles. It's really, that's why the core, man, it's like all this stuff I've read for so many years in fitness and weightlifting and just all kinds of different disciplines, that I read it and I couldn't get myself to be able to feel it. And I'm still in my, I think, like pre-infancy on this. Like I'm just like a newborn baby. So I have, what's exciting about that, again, another reason I would share that is that is I feel like there's a lot of room for growth for me, which is super exciting to feel. It's like a whole new world of detail is opening up to me that I've just never felt. So on that note, the real thing, and I can only get this like occasionally right now. I got this, like I get the concept from Slim and Tabot. It's like about tucking, but you want to be able to tuck and let your tailbone be loose. That's the other thing I'm just starting. So in the hips, right? You have two separate hips, and then you have a spine, right? Down here is the sacrum and the coccyx, right? So it's really easy. All my life, I've kind of just felt like it's one thing, right? And as I start to see, no, it's like two things here, and that's the glute muscles, the butt muscles that lock that in. But then there's a tendency, again, it's very similar to the rib cage. When you don't have the proper control, you can't gonk on the two hip things without also gonking on the tailbone, the coccyx, the bottom of your spine. So that's like your tail. It's like literally your tail. That's why they call it tailbone. I don't know why that's not either more obvious to me or why people don't like make that more clear. You have a tail. I think that could be it. People don't want to see that we're these like animals. We're like, I'm a literal animal. I'm like, no, dude, I'm a dude. Right? And that's like this is negatively affecting the reality of my experience of being in my body, that I don't realize I'm like an animal with a tail. That's fucking crazy, dude. Alright, so when I get this, when I do manage to get it, it's like I start feeling these muscles that I don't know about, but they're like, oh dude, that's the whole thing. And it's like there are these muscles in the hip, like where the leg bone, that's what it feels like. It isn't what it feels like. It's like where the hip and the spine meet. That's what it is. That's totally what it is. It's the muscles that connect the hip bones to the spine, and also the leg bone to the spine. And I understand this is so, like, you might feel like how I felt all these years, like, what are you talking about, dude? And it's very strange. That's why I'm doing my best to share, like, God, what did I wish people had told me to get this? And I think that's the number one thing, honest, is just get the mental awareness that you have two thing. One, and there's no front of your hip really either. That's the other thing I'm just realizing. It's like, no, your hip is just like this thing. Gang. And the front is like open. I always think of the front as like a bone there and a bone there. There's no bone there. It's like, what, dude? You have a total like misunderstanding of the mechanics of the animal that you inhabit. So back to the rib cage. So the same thing. The reason I said that, like the hip bone and the spine, like feeling those muscles, it's very similar in the shoulder. When I get it, when I close the rib cage and I start doing the shaking. See, dude, it all came around back to the beginning. Go me. Close the rib cage, like tuck the hips, but then extend the tailbone. It's like the cobra, actually. That's what it is. Okay, I understand it now. Go me. The relationship between the hips and the spine is very similar to the relationship between the rib cage and the shoulder blades. Oh my god, it's the same fucking thing, dude. The shoulder blades are hips. Oh my god, you're like watching me have an epiphany in real time. The shoulder blades are like hips on the back of your, oh my god, dude, we're these like fucking animals. Oh my god, it's so weird how the shoulder blades are like the hips. Bro, that's the whole thing. We're animals. Like, I'm supposed to be, dude, this is like so difficult for me to just drop into this. And it's like, dude, from the perspective of the animal that I am, dude, you're not in a good shape, animal. Like, this is normal, like all day. I love how I really am good at staying on track with things and just like straight ahead, no detours whatsoever. So the point of me making this video, I thought before, I guess this was the actual point, is to practice the shaking, to get the dime stops here, like closer to the elbow, like the control of the elbow or the control of the wrist, right? Or the combination, right? When you can get all three of these coordinated together really clean, you're in like a different world. And I feel like the most important part in that for the shoulder is to learn the distinction between rib cage open and rib cage closed, especially when you actually want to extend the shoulders and the shoulder blades. See, that's the thing. It's learning. It's exactly the fucking same thing. It's learning that when you extend the shoulder blades, just like but it's the opposite. That's kind of trippy. And the other one, it's the hips that tuck, but in this one, it's the spine, the rib cage that tucks, and then this one, the hip, the shoulder blade part. I know this is a little confusing if you're not following along what's going on in my head. You extend the shoulder, which would be like the hips. So it's the opposite. Here, you extend this one, but in this one, like your arm. That's the simple way to explain this. In this one, your arm goes back, but in this one, your leg goes forward. So they're different in that way. And in this one, the bottom of your spine goes back. Look at that. This is pretty good. This is pretty good. The bottom of your spine goes back, but here, the front of your spine, the rib cage, it's an imperfect analogy, goes tucks. Kank. You know what? You know what's real crazy about this? And I'm sure she's going to be like, see? My wife Jenny has been trying to tell me this for many, many years. I couldn't feel it. I just genuinely like had no idea what she meant when she would say like tie the rib cage together, which is something I'm sure she learned in ballet at Juilliard. So, So, I think if you're gonna practice the shaking exercise, getting this first in line so that when you're lifting your arm, you're not, because when you're here, now we're full circle. This is the end of this video. I thought this was a practice session, but it's a different kind of sharing. So, this is how I've been doing it, right? This is the whole point of this video. I've been going like this, right? I'm like, I can't get any control, I can't get any speed, right? And the reason is, that's what this video's been about, is that because my rib cage hasn't been tucked. And when the rib cage isn't tucked, you have no connection from here to your feet, to the power of your body. And so there's no way to get any power. Wow, it's like I'm like rediscovering the very, very, very basics, most 101 basics of martial arts. But hey, you gotta take a circuitous route sometime. So, when you do have that tuck, I can feel already the improvement. And it's burning. Now it's burning in the right place too. I think, if I had to guess, I think it's burning in infraspinatus. So, we'll see if I turn out to be like some douchey dude who tried to just use a big word. Or if it's like, damn dude, Otis fucking knows shit. We'll see. Ask me in about 8 months, I would say. Oof. Crack, crack, crack. Okay, peace. That's cool. I'm glad I made this video. This was an extremely enjoyable thing for me to just spend my time doing. Note to self, note to you. So, I'm grateful for this experience.